Hey, welcome back to the Morning Stand Up with Nick Lifestyle. Today, we are talking about something a little different the funny history of smoking. But don't worry, I'm not here to tell you to start smoking. I don't, I'm not even funny one. So, we're just going to laugh about how it all started and how people got really into it. If folks from the past could see the warning labels we have today, they had probably choked on the tobacco flavored cough drops. Yet that was a thing. Alright, let's get into it. So let's start way back in the year 1492. So Columbus and his crew land in the Americas. They thought they were going to find gold, treasure, maybe some nice beach spots. Instead, they meet Native Americans who offer them tobacco. And what did the Europeans do? They start puffing away like they just found the coolest thing ever. Imagine it's like the first time someone shows you an app, like TikTok, and you just can't stop using it. Now, the Europeans weren't exactly new to bad habits. They were already drinking wine with lead in it. So when tobacco came into the picture, it wasn't really that much of a shock to them, but they loved it. Soon enough, tobacco made its way back to Europe, and guess what? The Europeans couldn't get enough of it. So here's where it gets interesting. By the 1600s, tobacco was all the rage. But hold on, they didn't have lighters back then like we do now. Nope, these folks had to light their tobacco with flint and steel. Imagine trying to start a fire in a rain with two rocks. But no one told them how bad smoking was. They kept puffing away. And I bet they were thinking, sure, I'm coughing a lot, but at least I look cool doing it. Let's fast forward in the 1700s. Smoking was a thing to do if you're rich. Kings, queens, anyone with money. Everyone was smoking. But it wasn't just for fun. These people were really into it. It was almost like they were trying to see who could smoke the most in a day. Imagine it like a contest to see who could hold their breath the longest, but way worse for your health. Oh, darling, let's have another smoke, darling. It's quite a noble thing to do, don't you think, darling? So, by the time the 1800s came around, doctors jumped in. Yeah, and doctors, the people who are supposed to help us. And guess what they did? They prescribed tobacco for things like asthma and coughing. If you couldn't breathe, and their big idea was, let's give you something that burns your lungs more. It's like saying, if your leg hurts, here's a hammer. Hit it again. Maybe that will help. Now let's jump in the 1900s. Smoking was everywhere. Movies, TV shows, and even in ads. People were smoking like it was a fashion statement. Seriously, in the 1950s, cigarette ads were like, this will make you look cool. Smoke while you drive. Smoke while you work. Heck, smoke while you sleep. For the smooth smoker, try Brandex. It will make you feel like the king of the world. Brandex. They came Then came the 1960s. People started realizing smoking wasn't so great for you. You know, like when your parents said, I told you so, but instead of your mom nagging, it was the doctors and scientists saying, this stuff is real bad for you. But you know what? Even with all the bad info, people didn't stop. They were hooked. It's like they couldn't help themselves. By the time the 1980s and 90s came around, smoking bans started happening. You couldn't just lay up wherever you wanted anymore. Imagine being in a restaurant in the 1980s trying to enjoy your spaghetti. and someone at at the next table is puffing away and they're trying to start a fire. It was crazy. But then smoking bans kicked in. You couldn't even smoke in a bar anymore without getting dirty looks from everyone around you. Fast forward to today, smoking isn't as common, but vaping came along. It's like the younger cousin who wants to be cooler than the older sibling. Look, I'm a USB stick. I'm cool now. But honestly, people still look at vaping like it's just another way to mess up your lungs. So what's the take from all this? Maybe it's that people will always try new things. If they think it's cool all the time, or maybe it's just that humans are really good at bad decisions, like wearing socks with sandals, or thinking smoking makes you look tough. Either way, the history of smoking is a crazy story, full of people doing things that probably seemed like a good idea at the time, but weren't. Weren't. So if you learned anything today, it's don't smoke, folks, unless it's smoked meat. And in that case, definitely invite me over. And you know what? You know what else? If you do end up smoking, don't do it with a USB stick, okay? Just stick with the old-fashioned way. Actually, don't do that either. But seriously, folks, it's always better to make healthier choices. It's not just about looking cool. It's about feeling good and making it to the next big thing in your life without coughing your lungs out. So that's it for today's episode of the Morning Stand Up with Nick Lifestyle. If you had a laugh today, go ahead and tell a friend. Just don't make them smoke while doing it. Stay healthy, stay laughing. And before I let you guys go, I have an announcement to make. Tomorrow podcast will be a personal connection to the smoking. And now after that, like in 2 days, I will be doing a movie history. So that's my game plan. And after movie history, which I know this is looking out pretty far, I am going to start talking about things that I do in my day-to-day life. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow for the personal connection. Please hit that follow button if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one.